Welcome back. Yay.
Yay!
This next exercise we're going to do is we're going to fill out a prayer request. But I have a big question to ask you before you fill out a prayer request. When was the last time you asked for prayer for yourself?
Sunday.
All the time.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so,
I'm going to do this one.
9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, the prayer requests that we receive here are not for the individual, but for someone else. Which leads me to ask that question. When was the last time you asked for something in prayer for you?
All the time.
All the time.
Long time ago.
But we don't necessarily write a prayer request for it. Okay? Can someone hand me a pen, Laura? So on these prayer requests, we're going to write out a prayer request today, and we're going to look at how we can view the prayer request using affirmations and denials. Okay? So this is our process here. Okay? We're going to actually do something that is engaged in the activity of rather than talking about it. Okay? See, there's a big difference. It works if you work it, or you can talk it to death. On this prayer request, notice what we have here. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them. The whole reason for a prayer request is to gain energy, access to the greater mind of God. The more people who are tuned in and affirming and knowing, the greater the energy and the faster the manifestation. The 100th monkey, I think we talked about that last week. Okay? But the more and more that we have people who gather, that's why I want everybody, I cannot imagine anybody in this church not being on a prayer team. It just makes no sense to me. You want prayer, they say you want people to pray for you, well, you have to participate as well. And participating in prayer is the best way for you to remain healed or to gain more healing in your life, more balance and abundance. So, when someone, let's say Virginia, gets confused, lost in her own stuff, bought into a story, okay? She's not seeing clearly. But we can. We can hold the high watch for her to get clear. See what I'm saying? Any of you have ever felt like you were lost? Okay? When you ask for a prayer request for yourself or for someone else, you're asking for other people to hold the divine truth, the high watch for the situation.
Yes.
Because of ourselves, I can do nothing, but I can do what? All things through the Christ within me. Okay? But also wherever 2 or more are gathered. Again, greater access into the mind of God. Then it says, ask, and it will be given you, search and you will find, and knock and the door will be opened to you. But you have to ask. Okay? It's all in the ask. Now here is an issue that a lot of people have. I'm not worthy. I don't want to bother God. I have heard that till I want to slap people upside the head.
It's such a little thing.
It's such a little thing. I don't want to bother God. God's dealing with so much more. I don't want to tell you about it because you have so much more stuff going on. It's, hey, listen. If I get a hangnail, I get a prayer request out for myself. I know that I of myself can do nothing, but greater things can happen. Prayer is a tool for you and for your loved ones to get aligned. Now, dear one, we join you in prayer knowing that God is our source. Now, what is that saying to you? What is that? What is it saying? It's not Unity of Sebring's prayer team. It's not Unity of Sebring's prayer team ministry. It's not Reverend Andy. Some people say, I just need for you to pray for me. And I said,
Don't do that.
No. You got me in the wrong spot. You're seeing me as your conduit. No, I am not. You have your own conduit. I will join you, and I'm very clear about that. I will join you in prayer. I will join you in prayer. But I can't do it for you. Okay? Your request will be held in strictest confidence. and will only be shared with our prayer team partners in silent unity. Now, again, if you have a prayer request that comes to me, that's when we send these out to our prayer team members. Normally, it just may say Laura G. Now, there could be 1,000, probably millions of Laura G's on the planet. God knows what Laura G that we're praying for. The request and the intention has been put out there in the universe. Now, let's say it's not this Laura G. Let's say it's Laura G that lives over in Wachuma. Now, if we're holding the thought that this Laura G over here is in need of healing, are we not directing the healing energy to her rather than to be more open to go to Laura G in Wachuma? Now, there's times, just like I sent one out last evening. I said, not the one that you may think it is. Because I knew that as soon as somebody saw it, they would immediately think that it was that person. And it isn't that person, it's someone else. But anyway, it's held in confidence. We don't talk about it because we take it to God and leave it with God. We leave it in God's hands. Stop meddling. There's a point when you have to let it go. You do your affirmations, and when you know it's over and done with, you let it go. And in time, the manifestation happens. Let us know how else we may serve you, Reverend Andy and Unity of Sebring's prayer team and silent unity. Then this prayer request is for, and you write their name. So, I want you to think of somebody who could use a prayer. It can be you.
It can or can't?
It can be you or can't be you?
It can be you.
It can be you.
It can be you. I would encourage it for you. So you write that person's name down.
Okay.
Now, already you know what the request is if you've got somebody's name that you want to have some prayer for. Now, what are you asking for? This is what I normally get. Mary Lou was just diagnosed with stage 4 terminal breast cancer. Pray for her cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Are you done?
But what are you asking? Healing. Keep it simple, folks. The story is not important. The story is where the energy is stored. We don't want to give any power to the story. See what I'm saying? The story is unimportant. For you as a person who is praying, it is unimportant. So we're praying for healing. And actually we are affirming healing. We're not praying for. Because healing is already true in the mind of God. That person's already healed. The highest and best is manifest. Now how that shows up in Mary Lou's life, I don't know. But we ask for healing. It may be the healing of her soul that needs to happen. For her to finally come into the place of peace and wholeness. Which may be beyond the physical realm. Don't know. But I ain't going to mess in it. See what I'm saying? Stop messing in God's business. So, we affirm healing. Or divine order. If our concern is that we want the right and best outcome, we write divine order. So we can use 2 of these, actually. We can affirm divine order in the health and the wholeness of Mary Lou. However that's supposed to show up. Now you may have a prayer request for yourself on prosperity. That you need more abundance in your life. Well, let me tell you, you've got all the abundance that you can ever use. You've already got it. But think about that. If you have abundance of crap, you're going to have an abundance of crap. But you've got an abundance of it. You've got crappy thoughts, then you're going to have crappy abundance. You see what I'm saying? The universe you direct it to what it is that you wish to see manifest. I have an abundant amount of financial freedom. One of my affirmations that I did years ago when I was broke as Job, or anybody else, or whoever would be broken, whoever, when I had nothing, I mean nothing. I got the idea to affirm I am a mighty magnet, and I draw to me massive amounts of money. and I put it up on my walls. Because there's nothing wrong with money. Okay? Do not get that idea that there's something wrong with having money. Oh, no. The love of money and making it your God, yes. But there's nothing wrong with money. Money is currency, energy.
Energy.
Okay? See it in maybe a different light. And if you think you don't have enough money, you're exactly right. You won't ever have enough money. I know people who are multimillionaires and they see themselves as being broke. And they miss out on the richness of everything else that's around them. They're not even grateful for anything because they are consumed with this idea that they live in lack.
And the idea is to be grateful for what you have.
And grateful, and then that your gratitude helps it grow.
Yeah.
Okay? So abundance. Make sure that you are affirming here of prosperity. I am prosperous in all ways. That's the way I like to put it. I am prosperous in all ways for my highest good. My source knows how richly blessed I am. I am aligning myself to that rich blessing, and I am blessed in every way possible with the highest and best for me, which includes divine ideas, financial, peace of mind, richness of family.
Happiness, joy.
Yes, all those wonderful things. But please, please, please hear me. There's nothing wrong with being rich. Now, if you are holding on to the thought that somebody else is rich and you are not, and that's wrong, or that, you know what I'm saying, then what you're doing is you're blocking your own good. But then you say, well, I don't want to be like them. Well, guess what? You're not. I don't want to get it that way. You don't have to get it their way. They may have been people who have screwed people over to get to the top and make all the money and stuff. You don't have to do that way. There are many other ways for you to be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can have all the wealth in the world and not be able to sleep at night. Next, guidance. This is huge. Asking for divine guidance, which again is surrendering the ego that you know. You say, okay, God, just give me some sort of intuition. Fill me with some sort of wisdom, which is the next one, guidance, wisdom. They kind of like go hand in hand. As to what I am to do next. And then you wait until you are prompted to what to do next. And it may make absolute no sense to you whatsoever, but do it anyway. Do it anyway. And lastly, other. We get lots of checks for other, but then they never write anything down.
What about wisdom?
Well, that's on here. Yeah, guidance and wisdom. I said they go kind of hand in hand. Other. Well, that's normally when you write other, and then they write out their story. Because I want us to understand that this is a situation. I got it that it's a situation. But is that what you want? I always go back to what do you want? I say that to myself, is this what I want? Is this what I want? Is this, you know, what I want to continue to create? And the answer a lot of times is no. So write your request down. What's best for you? You can write your story out. I don't care. Relationships, yeah, absolutely. We do get a lot of that, especially within families, where there's a child that's been estranged from a parent, or a parent estranged from their child. You see, I see that, when that prayer request comes, I see like this melting of all of the caca thoughts that have been in the way of them truly loving one another for as they are in this now moment. Releasing the stories of how a mother's supposed to be, or how a son's supposed to be, or a daughter's supposed to be. All of that just doesn't matter. The truth that I like to pull forth is the reconciliation of divine souls, recognizing the beauty of whatever sound that was. No, the beauty of souls dancing with one another, not against one another. Beautiful. It's beautiful. And I've watched I know of a person who's had a terrible time with relationships with all of their children. I'm not going to say it's a he or a she, but their children. And in this, every one of them, the child, each of the children, have dismissed and disowned this particular being. This particular being is distraught because this particular being, this is their child. And they want ever so much for a relationship to be there where they are able to be at peace with their child. So, I've done work many years of treatment with people. I said, let's see your daughter, okay, as their heart melting, their consciousness melting, and then beginning to see you as being who you are, the human you, and loving and accepting you with your shortcomings and your long pursuits. And you need to do the same with them. You've got to get rid of the story. You've got to get rid of the story. And I've watched how, in one particular case, 3 children have all come back into this person's life, and there has been reconciliation and resolution, and joy and love has been restored. Beautiful. And I'm talking, there were major issues. But there were major issues where? In our heads. But if you see that change of consciousness, then a new reality can come. So, got your prayer requests done? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'd like for you to turn them in. You unfold. You don't have to.
Oh, well,
Oh, it did. Do you want them in this basket here?
Just, no, pass them on down.
Oh, okay. It's back.
how you doing?
That's good. It's Dot's turn this week.
It's Dot's turn.
Thanks.
Are you filling in for Dot? Okay.
Pretty good, yeah. That's for me. Yeah.
The question is, how do you get rid of stories? You just recognize their stories. That's it. It's just it's just a story. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're shifting your consciousness into neutral. And you're not giving power to that which is that living reality for you in the now moment, or may think that's the living reality in the now moment. But when you say, oh, wait a minute, that's a story. That's a story. Then what happens is that then as you are observing it, you have that opening to see it differently. And you're not so emotionally attached to living in the woods or living in the story. Does that make sense? No, you acknowledge it. Here's something else you need to understand as well with prayer. We do not deny that a situation exists. We deny it having power over us. Okay? There's a huge difference. If you're constantly trying to push it off out here, you're not denying it. What you're doing is you're pushing it away for you to only deal with later. So you acknowledge, if you have a challenge going on, you acknowledge the challenge. It's like if you have a little child that is screaming and screaming, the child needs to be heard. You have within you a little child who is screaming, and needs to be heard. The same thing is with everything showing up in our life. It needs to be heard. It needs to be recognized. It needs to be validated. I hear you. I get this. I understand you are here. What can we do with it now? And love is always the answer. Love is always the answer. Because God is what? Love. It's an energy of balance. It's an energy of inclusiveness It is unconditional. So love is always the answer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just shift these. And may I have permission without using any last names? I just may use initials here. I'd like for us to see how we can approach each one of these prayer requests using denial and affirmation. Is that okay for me to use these?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Anybody here who would wish for me not to use it?
No, I need help with mine.
Okay, well, then here's the deal. I will only use initials. So nobody really, maybe a initial. So, and remember, think beyond just this room, because not everybody in here puts someone's name on their own name. They may put somebody else's. Okay? The first one is for A, healing. How do you approach that? What kind of affirmation? Denial. Whatever go ahead.
I see them as God sees them, whole, perfect, well.
Okay. Now, is there a denial in there? Okay. Which is okay, but to create a new space, how about if we looked at it and said, I acknowledge where they are, their concern, and I affirm that they are healed, whole, and healthy.
Okay.
And that the presence of God's moving through and touching their lives in the perfect and right way. That would be use of divine order. Okay?
Would it be right to say to guide them? Asking God to guide them?
Yes,
If
you
he
can do
feels
that,
it.
sure. But the request really is for healing. So our request here is
Okay.
to affirm that they are healed.
Okay.
To deny that the situation or whatever the malady may be, and healing isn't always physical. Be careful. Healing a lot of times is emotional. It's always consciousness, healing of consciousness. Next, M. Healing, divine order, guidance. How would you use it? Denial and affirmation. The hard part's the denial, isn't it?
Yes.
How about we deny any situation that comes forth that does not manifest their wholeness. We know it comes forth in divine order, and we know that they will receive the guidance that they need to move them forward in their process and in their journey to their highest good.
Are you putting the denial first, though?
You always put the denial first. No. You go to your source first. That's putting God first. Then you deny that the situation has any power. Whatever it is that
source
they're
comes from us when we're doing the
through us.
Through us, well, that's okay.
Next one, L. Healing, divine order.
Going to do the same thing again, but one above, that we deny any.
Okay, you said what about the word above?
No, I said of the one we just had before that,
Yeah.
about healing, and that we would deny any situation that not stops.
I go within and I sit and know that whatever the situation no longer has power over this person. Okay? You can do that for everything. Use that, that's simple. Just use it for everything. Okay? And that divine order is in process, is moving. Okay? And divine health is being revealed. Everyone's a little different because there's an energy around each one. Okay? But we've got to remain open, and we realize that we don't know what the situation is. Even if they tell us what the situation is, we don't want to limit it to just physical healing. We have to remain open that God knows, we don't. We just want to see them alive, that whatever the situation is, does not bind them. D. Healing. To see the inner light energy, divine guidance. You see whatever is in the way, consciousness, that D is removed. It has no power over her or him. and that D is being enlightened and healed by the divine energy of God. Could that work for you? B, healing and divine order. Do you know what B's situation is? God does. So whatever the situation is that's in B's life, we deny that the situation has any more power over them. But instead, we are affirming the divine healing and divine order and divine healing of this beautiful child of God in his perfect and right way. P, prosperity, guidance, wisdom. Denial. Denial that the situation has any power over them. Whatever they are saying that is in falsehood, that may be some sort of idea of lack, is removed in their consciousness so that divine abundance flows in and through them. That they are open and receptive to receive the divine guidance they need to what steps they are to take for the manifestation to come forth. Questions? Thoughts? R, wisdom to make right decisions at the right time. Deny the fear that you can make a wrong decision. God is always there. I see this individual, I see R open and receptive to the divine wisdom of the universe. And only moving in and hearing, feeling, and accepting, and moving in and using that divine wisdom in every decision that they make. Questions, thoughts? Anything you want to add to it? L, right decision in relationship, decision, wisdom, and guidance. The rightness of consciousness divinely is revealed. All thought of wrong choices is dissolved. I see L being divinely guided. I see divine wisdom being revealed and them taking action on that wisdom. How's that work for you? Okay, here's one. L. See her healthy and whole. Prayer for healing and wisdom. Who wants to do this one? I'm not going to do this all day long, but so your practice is most important now. Who wants to try? You're not going to mess it up. Yeah.
I deny that there is any discomfort or disease of any sort in Elle's life and see her moving forward in perfect health, wholeness, and divine order.
But the name is Elle, not her. It's Lloyd.
Sorry.
Okay? But see how we do it? How we assume? Please don't. Just Elle. That's all you need. Now, it could be a woman, too. Lloydette.
I like that one.
Dee McDonald and I used to get together and we'd get so tickled. And we both are snorters. And we would both start snorting and then we would start laughing at each other snorting. And people would think that there were hogs in the next room. Oh my God, we had so much fun snorting. And it wasn't anything other than, we weren't snorting anything on a table. In case somebody came up with that thought. The next one, D, healing. Now you know what the healing is about? I'm saying this for a reason. For you to get clear, you don't know nothing. Other than we see D what?
Whole and healthy.
Healthy.
Whole and healthy. But release any sort of consciousness, or and I love what Charlie said, any dis-ease within their consciousness. We see them released. We see that it has the disease, dis-ease or disease has no power over them. Whatever the healing, then we affirm the healing. Okay? M. Dealing with a particular situation in helping someone during appointments. The prayer request was for wisdom and guidance. So, how do we pray for this? What do we deny?
Say it again.
Try to do it.
Okay.
M. In dealing with someone with getting to appointments and helping them during their appointments, or even getting them there maybe. But I release, or I see them releasing all resistance. I see them releasing any resistance and knowing that the work that they are doing is divinely guided. And that peace reigns, and that the highest and best is manifesting in and through them and in the life of those they serve. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Andy did not make that up. That was why I opened up to Spirit to hear what Spirit said. Okay? Healing, divine order, prosperity, guidance, wisdom, and I don't know who this is. It's either a C or a G or an A.
Tell me God knows.
So, the answer to that is, whomever this individual is, we see them released from any dis-ease in mind and in body. We see them being restored, given the divine guidance and the direction that they need. They are filled with wisdom and they are willing to follow that wisdom. They align their will with God's will. And the highest and best is manifesting in divine order. God knows who that was. Next, E. Healing, divine order, prosperity, guidance. How do we deal with that one? How do we deny and affirm? Deny that any and all situations have any power. Again, going back to that very simple denial that works for everything. Deny that this particular, any situation that is within this person's consciousness is dissolved. Leaving forth or opening the way for divine wisdom and healing and divine order, abundance and guidance is revealed in and through them now. Sometimes I like to use the word now. Because I believe that the now moment holds everything. You know, nothing lacking in the now moment. Just lacking from our awareness of it. D. Healing, divine order, prosperity, guidance, wisdom. To discover the meaning and purpose of my life. That's one that everybody's like. That happens with everyone at some point. What am I here for? What am I supposed to be doing? So what denial do you use? Denial that any situation is before this individual is dissolved. That clarity comes forward. Gives them the divine wisdom is revealed in and through them now. They know that everything that they are doing is a part of the divine purpose, whether they are consciously aware of it or not. We know that the answer is being revealed in its perfect and right way, and it's coming forth in divine order. Would that work? Absolutely. A. Contentment and understanding. Wisdom and divine order. How do you do that one? A. What's your denial?
The situation has no power.
Yes, it's so easy. How many of you were just like lost? Okay, be honest. How many of you were lost? But when it came to the denial, because you kind of thought that, no, this situation has no power over them. Okay? Write that down. In every one of times as you go to prayer, someone says, you know that somebody's having a problem, this situation has no power in their life. Deny that it has any more power in their life. They can't do that for themselves, for the most part.
That's what we're doing.
And that's what we are holding and gifting them with. Creating a space in consciousness, okay? So this situation has no power over A. Whatever it may look like, whatever's going on. In it, divine order is revealed. Wisdom is received. It shows up in a matter of contentment and understanding. And it is so. How many of you like to say amen?
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
This prayer request's name is M. It just says me. Divine order and guidance. And it's not for me. But if you get a request from me, then know that it's not someone you may know. It just could be that person just calling themselves me. Okay? Whatever the situation is before them is dissolved. It has no power in their life. I affirm divine order is moving in and through their consciousness and in through their life, and that they are receiving the divine guidance they need as to what they need to do next. It is divine. It is part of the divine plan. It is so. T. Healing, divine order, guidance, wisdom. I deny that whatever the situation is that may be before them, this situation, this concern, this worry is released, dissolved. They are surrendered, and that they are open and receptive to divine order and to the divine guidance that they have requested. And they are gifted with wisdom, and they take action upon that wisdom. And everything again flows into divine order. I love divine order. It is so. K. Divine order. In understanding, openness, and allow the knowledge needed to move forward. Okay? I release any concern, any falsehoods, any worry that K does not have the answer that K needs. That they are filled with all the answers that they need as they go forth to take a test of the emergency broadcast system. That everything is in divine order, and this person realizes that they have what it takes and lives from that place of confidence. C, prosperity, divine ideas, and purpose. Deny that whatever situations that have brought up any sort of thought of lack are dissolved. I see this individual, their consciousness being cleansed, so that divine ideas flow through them and to them in such a way that they are able to take these divine ideas, in which that's when they will find their divine purpose. And they realize that whatever that they are doing is a part of the divine plan, whether realized or not. And it is so. Now, I have more. I'd like for you to read the rest of this when you get home, or maybe before you leave. Affirmative Prayer defined, what that's about. And then I have all of these other handouts. Today's the last day of class. I really and truly would like for you to go on YouTube. If you, I can give you, I think it has to go this way. Does anybody have a phone with them that they can check it out on their smartphone? This address.
Pick up anything in here.
If you go to YouTube, you know what YouTube is? Does everybody know what YouTube is? It's a website that holds videos.
Right.
When you get there, at the top of the page, it says search. And in quotes, you have to use quotes because there's a lot of things that are similar to what we have. If you put it in quotes, you'll find our page. Okay? So what you would type in is quote mark, Unity Life Enrichment Center, Centre, the English spelling. Then Sebring and quote. And that takes you to our YouTube page.
Is it case sensitive, you know?
Unity what now?
Life Enrichment.
Life Enrichment
Center, Sebring.
Be sure you put, Sebring in it, and you close your quote. And it should take you to our YouTube site. Here are some more papers. You can pass around, take one. You talk about Sebring prayer. What's the first thing you do when you start affirmative prayer?
Deny.
Huh? What do you do? The first thing you do when you're doing it right. Connect with your source.
Sure you don't have another class here with these handouts?
Nope, I don't. My time is so limited. This took me 2 months to pull this materials together, just so I could do 3 weeks with all the other stuff. Lastly, yes, please take that.
That's another one, yeah.
If you're missing one, let me know. Last week. The last one that I am giving you was created from a gift from Silent Unity to me. So it holds something very special in my heart. And what it is that these are bill time. These are affirmations that Silent Unity has used in the past when people call. So I want you to understand about Silent Unity. Silent Unity, please listen, because I'm running out of time. Silent Unity is our worldwide prayer ministry. How many of you have ever called Silent Unity? How many of you have not called Silent Unity? On one of these pages, in fact on this page here, their number is this. 1-800, doesn't cost you a thing, 669-7729. Now here's the deal. When you call Silent Unity, you are finding somebody who has already released themselves and are in the presence of God. That's why it is so powerful when you call. You feel the energy of spirit in these individuals who are working in Silent Unity. It's great training. However, they do also have prompts that they can use on particular situations that come in, just in case they might have kind of skipped out of Christ consciousness, they kind of came into human, or they heard the story and they begin to react after the story. or on the story. So these are some affirmations that they gave me to use in our ministry, which I have probably used it once, maybe twice. But it holds something very sacred to me, just knowing that I have them, knowing that silent unity is always there, ready to hold the highlight. Yes.
They also have an app.
Yes.
I won't take them.
It's the We Pray app, something like that. No, not actually during the service. I don't need it. I like
You're in God's
to
hand.
use that. Okay, any questions? I would like for all of you to sign up to be on our prayer team. And the list is out here on the information station. You don't have to, but if you want to improve your life, be on the prayer team. Now here is the only issue that you will have being on the prayer team.
Sorry.
Is that the class?
Yes.
Okay, that was last week's class. Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now give you the right address.
She was doing research.
So here's the deal. If you want to be on the email prayer list, just write down email. If you have email, I prefer to do it that way, because that way you get them as they come in. The prayer requests come in, they're sent to Silent Unity as well, and I'm able to get them out to you, the prayer team member, quickly. Because sometimes these prayers are urgent, and they need immediate prayer, immediate energy into the answer, okay? Notice how I said that, into the answer. The big thing is that you could be overwhelmed, no matter what prayer team you are, on the number of prayer requests that come in. Virginia sees the ones that come in here during the week, you know, when she's the head of one of the prayer teams. In some weeks, there may be 30 or 40. That's just come in during the week and on Sunday. But just imagine what it's like on email and through our website. Now, sometimes we don't have that many. Sometimes it kind of comes in waves, it comes and goes. So, you may get pray for so-and-so, okay? And there also sometimes maybe even a slip or a full name. But if it's a full name, you can pretty well rest assured that as I've gotten their prayer request, that they had asked for their full name to be given. Because you want to make sure that they're the ones that are being prayed for, okay? 9 times out of 10, you'll just get healing or whatever. I may give a little bit of a sense of what the situation is. In fact, there was one today for somebody who's going in for their first treatment, aggressive treatment for breast cancer. And so, I affirmed healing from breast cancer. Okay? Now, I could have just said healing. But the feeling and the intention or the inflection that I got from the original email is I want prayers to be said for healing for this person who is having treatment for breast cancer and for this person's parents. So I send that out. And I have to leave it to divine guidance as to whoever receives it through our email process knows the process of affirmative prayer. We give no power to the situation. We affirm only the divine life and the health of God and wholeness moving in and through that individual. We see peace enveloping and enfolding and holding those loved ones. That the hands of all who are moving into assisting this individual are hands that are divinely guided by divine wisdom. And the highest and best good for that soul is manifesting. That's would be mine. That's how I pray. And then I let it go. Because I know thy will is being done. And I have no question that the highest and best is not going to come. However it's supposed to be is supposed to be. Does that make any sense? So, if you don't want to be on the email prayer list, and you only want to get prayer requests once a month, then you just write up, prayer team.
So you can be on both?
You can be, but you'll be assigned to only one prayer team a month. Okay, you're already on a prayer team?
Yes.
Okay, well, if you're already on a prayer team, you won't need to sign up. But if you want to be on the email prayer team, then you just write email on there, and then you'll be added to our email list.
Okay.
I think I've got about 60 people on the email prayer teams.
If we're already on that email, we don't need to read.
If you're already on it, I mean, you can go ahead and put it on. I'll make sure that your name is on, like in yours. And sometimes that names get lost. How that happens, I don't know, but welcome to the wonderful world of computers. So if you stop getting them, let me know. I'm not getting prayer requests anymore. Sometimes I go days without a prayer request. And other days I'll get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 at a time. I try to only send them out once a day, but sometimes they come in throughout the day, and some I feel so they need to go out right away. Okay? And if you have a prayer request, will you please let us know? We want to walk with you. We want you to feel the love and the wholeness. This is your family. This is like, wow. This is where it happens, right here. And there's no better place. I know of no better place on this planet than right here. And if I did, then I'd go there. But I also know that I create this reality. And this reality here is really awesome. So I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. Go forth and pray with an affirmative heart, knowing that God is in charge and denying anything that is in the way of divine good manifesting. So it is. You are loved, loved, loved. There's a basket there, if you'd be so kind. And for those of you who are watching online, you can send us a donation, if you will. You can send that to Unity at 10417 South Orange Blossom Boulevard, Sebring, Florida, 33875. Now run that back so you can write it down.
10417 South Orange Blossom Boulevard, Sebring, Florida.
33875. That's 33875. That's 33875. Call now.
Okay.